When BGW said that one of the hopes that they had in partnering with organizations like us is that not only are we trying to reach people in our community, but also we have a ministry opportunity to try to reach the contractors and every person who walks on the job site. That really made us excited because we too have that same mission in mind. And so we really were very intentional about the ministry through the construction process. And we found it was a real way to engage the whole church, to be a part of the process.
A lot of times churches will be involved at the beginning of the process with the groundbreaking, and then at the end of the process with ribbon cutting. But there's not a lot that church members do in between. On the contrary, with BGW, we actually signed a contract saying we will be involved in ministering to the workers. And we just got jazzed up about that. We just got excited about that, and our congregation did too.
It was such a joy to have these guys and ladies come in. We are able to feed them lunch.
We had at least 3 or 4 times where we had a chance to present the gospel, and each one of those times there was one of the workers who responded.
One of the electricians actually now come to church here because of the extra steps we took to minister to his family and his workers.
So that interaction is also something that we would not have been able to do if there had been another organization involved.
We created some teams, and every single day during the construction process, we provided drinks and snacks and food. You know, it's Florida, it's hot. And so for them to have a cold Gatorade or water and to come over and have an area, picnic tables in the shade where we can thank them and appreciate them and encourage them for what they did, that really just made it a very unique experience that I think most of these subcontractors had never experienced before. They were constantly thanking us and appreciating us for serving them. It also gave us a great avenue to, build a relationship with them.
One of the things that I'm most encouraged by BGW was as they talked about wanting to be able to bless those who were doing the construction work for us, that not only were they serving us, but how can we serve them with the gospel? And so this past Thanksgiving, one of the things that I was most gratified about was our church inviting all of the construction workers to just simply pause, take a break from their work, and come together and celebrate with us for Thanksgiving. And so we blessed them with a grand Thanksgiving lunch, as well as providing some gifts to encourage them and some spiritual encouragement from the Word of God.
During the building process, BGW, as well as our contractors, put together kind of a plan to minister to those building the structure. And we did things from bringing in Krispy Kreme donuts to the construction crew, having a time of prayer over them. Our staff has a counselor on staff, and so we offered free counseling. But maybe they were having marriage problems, family problems, financial problems. We brought them in, and we had a couple of guys that came and walked through that process and ended up walking away saving their marriage. And so, that's stuff that I don't know of any other building project that offers services to minister to the people building your building.
After we moved into the new facility, and I got a call about a month after we started, and it's from a guy. He said, "Hey, my name is Jason, and I'm interested in learning more about the church and considering visiting." It just so happened that week we were speaking on marriage and divorce, and I told him as a heads up, "Hey, we just teach what Jesus taught and talk about how to apply it to our lives, and we're going to be talking about marriage and divorce, and it also touches on hell a little bit." And he said, "Well, that's perfect because I am divorced, but my wife and I are working on possibly getting back together. And we know we can't do it without God. And we know we need a church." And when I thought about a church to go to, I thought about the church that I worked at when it was being built. He was one of those guys that we prayed for. He was one of those guys that we wrote messages to, we just didn't know it. Well, Jason has been coming with his ex-wife, and they've been working on their relationship. And just this past week, I pulled them both aside and I said, where are you guys at spiritually? And they said, he said, well, I think she's a little farther ahead than me, but we're both walking towards Jesus. And their story is a continuing story. And I can't wait to see how it plays out, not just with their faith, but also with their marriage and their family. Ministry of Construction made that a reality.
During the process, we had a contractor who was awarded a bid. He was going through a really difficult time in his life, and one Sunday he actually showed up at Crosspoint and revealed that he was just going through a really difficult time, and ultimately he rededicated his life to Christ. He's been coming to Crosspoint ever since. He's in fact in my small group that meets every week, and I would never have met him. And God used Crosspoint's building project to bring him back to God. And what an incredible testimony and story.